I'm going to give you guys an invitation if you actually want to do this with me. Okay, it's going to be free. All right, so but I think it'd be something really good.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you, as always, for joining me. It has been a long day of travel. It is late. I really wish I could show you this background here because there are these beautiful mountains that you can see here, but you can't see right now because it's late. And I need to get this podcast out to you all, and I do think this is going to be an important episode. So let me kind of give you the backstory. I'm going to be talking today about what every single one of you should be doing for the end of this year, before you go into 2026, and how you are going to give yourself a high probability of 2026 being an amazing year for you. That's what we're going to talk about on today's podcast. Thank you guys, as always, for joining me. I know I said that already, but I'm tired and it's been a long day, but you know what? I love you guys and I want to serve you guys, and I really think this is extremely important. I am out in Salt Lake City with 4 of my team members. We are planning our 2026, but we're also reflecting on our 2025. Okay. I'm going to use this podcast episode to tell you all what I think every single one of you can do. Even if you haven't done it yet, I believe you all can do it. And I highly recommend that you all do this in some capacity. Even if you have a team of just yourself, I highly recommend that you do this. And I'm going to give you guys an invitation if you actually want to do this with me. Okay? It's going to be free. All right? So, but I think it'd be something really good. So this is what I'm doing. And so I'm doing this first, and I hopefully practice what I preach. And I want to share this with you all as well. So let's talk about what we're doing. The first thing we're doing is we are spending 4 days out here at Salt Lake City, Utah. Number one of our team members lives out here. That team member always comes to us, to either Florida or Georgia, where we host our events and where we basically run our business. At least the business I'm talking about right now is Smart Success Healthcare, because that's what you guys know me for, okay? But we said, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to come to you. So the first thing is that, we had a really cool opportunity to say, hey, we're going to come out here. It's a way for us to show our team member that, hey, like we want to see where you're at, right? But also it's a new city. I've never been to Salt Lake City before, and the other 3 team members have never been here before as well, right? So we said, all right, let's come out here. But not just that we're coming out here to do something different than what we can do in Florida, which is we're going to tube and we're going to go, I don't know if I'm going to snow ski or anything like that. I'm not good at that stuff, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. But we're going to have a good time, and we're going to do something that we don't usually do in Florida, right? But we're also here for business, and we're here to do a couple things, and I want to share those things with you all right now. Number one, we are here to reflect on our 2025, okay? Because the reality is that if we're going to make 2026 better than 2025, we have to exercise wisdom, and we have to get ourselves in the right mindset. And I truly believe that you can get yourself in the right mindset and exercise wisdom by looking at what worked, what didn't work, what did we learn about ourselves in this current year. And we can take those things, all the pain, all the struggles, all the wins, everything, and we can collectively make sense of it so that we can become a better version of ourselves going into 2026. So that's the first thing that we're actually going to do. Now, it's not the first, I'm not doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm actually spending a day, and my team, we're actually visiting a few of our clients we have a lot of clients that live on the West Coast. So we're visiting a few of our clients that live here, and we're spending a day exploring Park City, Utah, and Salt Lake City, Utah. So it's going to be a fun day. But on Wednesday, we are getting to work. Okay. And that's the first thing that I'm going to have us do. And I'm going to set aside some time for us to do that, and for us to really reflect on what each person learned in 2025. Okay. I also, going into 2026, because these are my 4 kind of top people in the company, I want to know what it is that they want. Okay? So I think that's extremely important because at the end of the day, the cool thing about business is you have to make the business work, and the way that a business works is by you bringing value to people, and bringing so much value to people that people are willing to pay you, because what they're paying you, they feel, is so much less than the value that they're receiving. Okay, that's how business works. But if you do that successfully, then you should also be able to get the things that you want. So I want to hear from my people, what is it that you all want as we go into 2026? And then here's what we're going to do. Then we're going to start to get strategic. Okay, we're going to start to get strategic. And part of being strategic is understanding that business is not just about saying, okay, we want to make X amount of millions of dollars per year for next year. This is what we're going to have. No. We're not just doing that. Okay, if we want to bring in this amount of money, so let's just say that number is $5 million, okay? If we want to bring in this, what are we going to have to do in every single area? So let's talk about those areas, you guys, okay? And this is what we are doing as a company. And then we are going to ask ourselves, we're going to say, okay, what's the strengths that we have in this area? What are the weaknesses that we have? What are the opportunities? Well, what are the big threats that could throw us off from this happening if we figure out what these things are that we need to do? What I understand is this. I understand that it is not enough. So let's just say I have a $1,000 offer, okay? It is not enough for you to say, okay, we want to make $1 million. We have to sell $1,000 offers. That is not enough for me to do. I can't just do that. How do you even get that to happen? How many eyeballs are we going to need on us in order to basically get people to pay us with their contact information, their attention, which is what they usually do first before they pay you in money? How many events am I going to have to run in order for people that are interested in my product and service to be able to have the ability to be able to buy an offer from me for $1,000? How many referrals am I going to have to get from my existing customer base to bring in new customers? And what things am I going to do to create that referral system? You guys, every single business runs off of 4 pillars. It runs off of marketing, which really is an art. It's getting people, partnerships, paid traffic. It's the idea of getting people to know that I exist and to want to buy what it is that I'm buying. And by the way, when I say buy the idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, it's not to buy the product. That's not marketing. That's selling. Okay, so first it's marketing, and then it's understanding that I need to bring offers to people. And the offers need to be free offers for most people first. Why? Because they don't owe me anything. They don't owe me a thing. So I need to bring to people things that are free that honestly, most of my competitors are doing paid. So what am I going to create for that? Like, how am I going to do that? And then I need to have ways to be able to bring people more value, but to make sure I make it very clear in their mind that my product is the product for them after I brought them value first. That's called a conversion event. And then once I've done conversion events and I'm bringing in customers, I have to make sure that I'm doing an incredible job with serving these customers so that these customers want to continue to do more business with me. We have to map all of that out. And guys, you have to map that out. And if you don't map that out, let me tell you what's going to happen. And by the way, this actually happened to me in 2025. 2025, it was still a good year. Okay, it was a good year. It wasn't a great year. It wasn't a great year, but it was a good year. Okay, I understand that the majority of people never have a business that does over $1 million. The fact that I can say that I've done that, not only in 2025, but I think it's now 14 years in a row, is just such a blessing and such an honor. So it has been a good year, and there's no way I can say it's not been a good year. But here's the other thing. I know that we're capable of so much more. I know that there are so many more opportunities. I know that if I stayed focused and if I wasn't as reactive, we could have doubled, tripled, or quadrupled what we did this year. And what I mean by that is, if I had my year planned out fully, and I didn't do that, guys, in 2020, the end of 2024, I didn't do it. We had whatever excuses I want to make, but with the storms that happened and the devastation that happened in our area, I had a lot of things going on. I didn't do it. And you know what I felt in 2025? As many people as I felt, and by the way, I do think 2025 has been the most impactful year for my clients, meaning that my clients have created more impact than I've ever had in the, 12 years I've been doing this, 11 years, 12 years I've been doing this online. But what I can say that I didn't do well this year is I was reactive, meaning that if I was doing an event or I was doing an offer or I was doing something, like I didn't set it out from the year before. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. And I was way too reactive. And I don't want to do that going into next year. Even clients have said, hey, listen, I want to join your stuff. I want to come to your events, but I need to know in advance. And, I need to respect that with clients. And so I know that that's something that I'm going to need to do and do a better job of. And that's what I want to make sure that I do this year that I didn't do last year, or going into next year that I didn't do last year at this time. So anyways, guys, that's really what I'm doing. I hope you listen to this episode again. I know it's kind of all over the place, but I'm just putting together all the pieces of how our planning is going to go. I am going to do this for anyone that wants help going into 2026. I'm going to be doing this the week of, I think it's going to be December 18th. I'm going to do it totally for free. Just going to bring you guys through my system, the framework, to help you with really giving yourself a high probability of 2026 being an amazing year for you. So if you guys want that, then I'm asking you to do this. If you want to text 2026 workshop to 813-534-6453. Again, 2026 workshop to 813-534-6453. We'll give you the link that we're going to use to be able to lay this out for you all and to help you all with making 2026 an amazing year. Okay. You have to be intentional about this stuff. Especially when you're starting from scratch or really trying to change things around, you got to be intentional about it. So if you guys want help with that, just let me know, and I'm willing to do that for you guys for free. We'll do it together as a group. I'll bring you guys through the system process, and by the end of it, about an hour and a half, you will have, I think, a really good idea of what 2026 should look like for you. All right, I love you guys. Till next time.